How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to Sick Eric Tech. And today is the day, well, actually, yesterday was the day we finally got the Oxygen OS 16 update for the OnePlus 13R. Now, I know this is coming out to the OnePlus 13 already, but we got it on the 13R now, and this is very exciting. I would say that this is an amazing update for this device. It looks awesome. And yes, some of them are iPhone stuff like the lock screen and the clock, and some of the, as far as the glass thing for the buttons. And sad to say, I'm ashamed, but I actually really like it. As you can see right there, you get a nice little animation when unlocking your device and locking your device when it comes down to that always on display. So as you can see right here, we got some nice always on display clocks. Quick settings over here, you do have the option to have different colors for them as well. You can customize them if you want. You could add some more quick settings as well. And if you go into customize, you could do your classic, which is going to bring down everything in your classic way. And then you swipe down a little more, you get all your toggles down here. Or you could do it the split way. So you swipe down over here, you get all your toggles. You swipe down over here, and you get all your notifications. And then for your show title names, you get all that. Tile color, you could do multicolor or follow the system, which you can see right here. It's following the theme now. But if you do multicolor, now you do get multicolors for all your toggles on there, which is pretty cool and actually looks quite nice. As you can see on here on the home screen, got some nice new clocks over here for your clock settings, which is actually pretty cool. You can edit your clock widget and you could change your clocks on there as well. So if you go into your widgets, which is just long press, go into your widgets and go into your clocks. You get 9 different clocks. You get a world clock, you get your normal analog clock, you get a world clock as well. And then you also do get your classic OnePlus clocks on here, which is actually pretty cool. Kind of wish they would have updated these just a little bit more, but you do get options for your clock widgets as well. And then if you go into some of the other settings, you get your IR remote, of course, for your widgets. You get My Device, which is going to be select device, view, and control a single device, such as earbuds, which is quite nice. And then you get some earbuds over here, which will do noise cancellation. That's a nice addition when it comes down to widgets. And then you also do get some other stuff over here. So they did add quite a few. And this is definitely going off more of the newer Oxygen OS / Color OS theme. And this is the same software that you're going to get on the new OnePlus 15. But you have it on a 13R now, which is actually pretty cool. And everything actually looks quite nice. You go into your weather widget over here. You get current weather. You get a lot of different options, and it actually looks really good. I'm actually really liking this update, and I was really excited once it did come in. And then now over here for all your widgets. So if you go into wallpapers and styles, now you could change your wallpaper. You get match your lock screen when it comes down to that. You could go into new wallpapers, and you get a bunch of different stuff. I think they are the same as they were before. You do get some nice depth effects when you're on your lock screen, which is pretty cool. So if you go into your lock screen now, you can choose your photo frame, different fonts for your clocks, which is actually pretty cool. Go into geometric, and you can change the shape of your outline or your cutout for that as well, which is actually really cool. But I kind of like the clock feature. And then you could hit apply. You could click on style, which will do a blur for your wallpaper, either narrow, wide, lumina, liquid, ripple. You have a lot of different options, and then you could also choose your background color. We're just going to keep that on original. So you have a lot of different options, and then you could also change your clock fonts if you want to do that as well. And you could either have none for your weather, or you could have your weather up top, and you could change the thickness of your font when it comes down to the date and the actual font itself. And then you can also change the colors on here, which is actually pretty cool. Once you're done, you could hit apply. Go into home screen settings before we go into the actual settings on here. So here is the home screen. You can choose between standard, which is going to have all your apps iPhone style on your home screen, or you could have the app drawer. Doesn't look like anything has changed here. You get your add new apps to your home screen, global search, go into home screen layout. You get some nice options for your grids, hide icon names. If you go back, lock layouts, you get icon autofill as well. Icon pull down gestures, so you can bring down all your icons to that way they are easily accessible since this is a bigger phone. You get some nice animation effects. So you get your standard, which is a little bit of a slower effect, and then you get enhanced, which is a little bit more of a faster effect. So when you swipe on home, you get that effect right there. Swipe on home, you get a nice effect when it comes down to animations. You also do get transition animations. So when you're scrolling on your home screen from your different pages, you can do default, roll, cube, flip, or card. I actually like the card. We're going to go and hit apply for that. And I think that is about it for home screen. Now double tap empty space to lock your screen, which is also nice. Your swipe down, you can do shelf, global search, or your notifications quick settings. Optimize widget animation or optimize widget appearance. And you could also manage your apps as well. So looking really, really good. You can also adjust and size up your folders if you want to make them small into normal folders. You can do that as well. And then you could enlarge them sideways, you could enlarge them long ways, and you could enlarge them as far as being a square. So that's also a cool feature, and I really, really like using that feature on here. It just makes everything look really, really nice, and your icons right here as well. So let's go and jump into the settings, and we'll just run through everything in order just to show you guys the difference. So here we got Wi-Fi. Everything looking pretty much the same as before. If you want to see that, Bluetooth settings, here we go again for Bluetooth settings. Again, looking pretty much the same as before. Going into device connect, here is other settings. You can connect to your tablet, PC, TV, Android Auto. So if you click on some of these, it'll take you to those specific settings, NFC, payment, access cards, touch interactions as well. You can share files between phones and touch interactions, which is quite nice. Going to home and lock screen. So we're going to get a lot of different options when it comes down to your Flux themes. If you click on all, you get a lot of presets on here, which is really, really cool. They're taking the clock idea from Apple and giving it over here on OnePlus devices to where you have this depth effect. And I love this. This thing looks really, really nice. You could change the style of your clock as well to have it like so, or big clock. And you have that depth effect to where it's in the background. And I love this feature. This thing looks really, really good. You could also change that if you turn it off, if you have the depth effect on. And if you hit apply, your lock screen, you have your clock right there. And look at that. Look at that animation. That just looks really, really nice. I love this. I cannot get over it. I wish Samsung would implement this feature on their devices. It just looks really, really cool with that feature. And that actually looks really nice. I love the fingerprint animations, looking really good as well. So let's go ahead and go back to that. So here you could change up everything. So if you want to change your wallpapers, you can do so. You're always on display. You now have the option to have full screen to where it'll have your wallpaper on your lock screen with your clock. The only downfall of this is that it will turn off after a certain amount of time, as you can see right there, which is kind of a shame. I wish this would stay on because it looks awesome, but it says to extend battery life, the full screen always on display will stay on briefly before turning off. It will not be shown if battery is below 10% and not connected to a charger. So definitely disappointed with that. Hopefully with a future update, it will be always on since it is an always on display. So right now I've been keeping it on seamless. That way you at least get your clock on there. And then you also have your personalized stuff, which hasn't changed. You get your system, carbon footprint, homeland, insight, digital clock, analog clock, text clock 1, and your image. So all of that stayed the same. Going on over to your icons, so you get a little bit more different icons over here with the Flux, which you can theme to match your wallpaper, which is actually really, really cool. I definitely like this. You could change the size of your icons as well. You could change the rounded corners if you want to have them squared or squared, squircle, or default round. You could do that. You could change the size of the font for the app name. So we'll go ahead and keep it on there as well. So yeah, and then you also have your classic icons. You have your radiant icons, shadow, which are actually pretty cool, material, and pebble icons. Now most of these stayed the same. I think the flux just a little bit tweaked up when it comes down to that. You could also make it match your system colors or your wallpaper colors, which is actually quite nice. Really loving this update. I cannot say that enough. And if you go into your font, you can also change your fonts and your font size and your font weight. So yeah, really, really nice when it comes down to your home screen, lock screen, and styles. Going on over your display and brightness, you get your option for light mode and dark mode as well. You get your scheduled dark mode settings. You could do enhanced, medium, or gentle. All of this stuff sort of stayed the same. Going into your screen color mode, you get Vivid, Natural, Pro, Cinematic, and Brilliant. So you get a lot of different options when it comes down to your color science on your device. You could also tweak it if you want things more warmer, default, or cold. I like keeping it under Brilliant just because it looks really nice and poppy. You get your eye care on here, so you can do bedtime, automatically adjust the screen color, warmer tones after sunset to improve sleep quality. Have that on. You get your eye comforts, you get your smart mode, and you get your custom mode over here. Customize the color temperature to adjust the intensity of blue light filter and schedule when to apply the filter. You also do get a ultra anti-flicker mode on here, so you could do ultra anti-flicker, and this is like your PWM dimming if you have sensitive eyes. You could also do it regular if you want, but keep it on ultra. So that's another nice feature. You get your adaptive tone. You could change your font like we looked earlier, your display size, large, standard, small. You get your image sharpener. All of this stayed the same. Keep those on. You get your video color boost, auto rotate, screen attention, screen resolution, auto select standard or high. You could also do your screen refresh rate, auto select standard or high, or you could change it to your app specific. So I like to keep that on high. And yeah, it will waste a little bit more battery, but you got a 6,000 milliamp hour battery on here. Who cares? Going on over your sound and vibrations, all of this for the most part stayed the same. You get your sound effects over here, smart, movie, gaming, and music. You could also change stuff like that. You get your Halo or Holo audio to give you more of a 3D sound effect right there. You get your haptics, haptics, and then you click on more. Recording device for camera, external mics, and then play ringtones in headphones. So that is also cool. We're going to click that on. I didn't know that was in there. And then going back to notifications and quick settings. So here you have the option to change lock screen, list, or numbers for your lock screen. You could also tweak your notifications. You also do get banner options on here as well. And then your app icon badges. You want to change that as well. You get wake when notification is received. Click on more settings. You get bubbles, reduce notification feedback, enhance notifications. You can see everything right there. So very, very nice. You all do get, also do get some nice animations when you're swiping back. As you can see right there, everything looks really, really nice. Security and privacy. Let's go ahead and click on that. Let's see. Normal stuff on here, device unlock, system updates, privacy stuff. Going on over to the battery. I think this is new. You get some nice animations and you get your battery bar up top. You get your battery modes for power saving, balance mode, power saving, and high performance mode. And it'll tell you how long your battery is estimated to last. Balance mode, you get 25 hours and 3 minutes. Power saving, 27 hours. In high performance mode, you get 23 hours. You could also do super power saving mode, which will give you 28 hours and 48 minutes of battery life. And then you also do get all your battery usage stuff right here. So all of this does look a little bit new. Charging settings, you could set smart rapid charging. Battery health will give you everything with your battery. And then power saving settings as well. And then you also do show battery level in status bar. You could click icon. You could either do show icon, show numbers, battery style. You get vertical, horizontal, loop, or nothing. It will just show the percentage up there. I actually like the loop on there. And then, of course, all your settings and your icons to be shown up top. There are some new AI stuff on here. So you get AI search, and this will give you a brief selection on searching when it comes down to stuff. Only English is supported. Supports searching for content from these apps, document settings. So this will give you more of a complete search when you want to search for stuff. About AI search, that just gives you options right there. You get AI writer, which will help you generate captions for your social media posts based on your scene. Apps for smart suggestions. You could also click right there. Maps, X, Instagram, and Facebook. And this will pretty much generate AI stuff for more better, I guess, comments and writing on social media. You get AI translate. You could choose between female, male. You could download offline packages for different languages as well. You could also adjust the voice speed. And then you get AI voice scribe, which is pretty much a lot of stuff that I seriously do not use on here. You get AI voice scribe service will be unavailable. My files, give you the version on there. And then AI service engine, which did have an update when I updated this phone. You can also check for AIs for the plugin update as well. So a lot of new AI stuff on here. Of course, you get your system update and all your system navigation stuff. You get high gesture guide bar, vibrate on navigations. You also do get circle to search, digital assistant from Google, and swipe animations. So show an animation when you swipe to go back. This is a beta. I can't really see the difference on there. That was a swipe back. So let's go ahead and turn that back on. So a little bit of a difference, really can't tell when it comes down to that, but you do have that option. And then keyboard mistouch prevents. And then of course about device, you click on here and it'll show you everything about the device, processor, battery, RAM. And here you could go ahead and do your RAM expansion. So you could expand your RAM 4 gigabytes, 8 or 12. Keep in mind that you will have to restart your device every time you mess with that. RAM optimization, give you everything that's being used right there using your RAM. So another nice feature. And of course, it'll give you all your system settings, battery settings, and things like that. So really, really nice. Really do love this screen on OnePlus devices. It just gives you a rundown of everything on your device. And of course, you have all your accounts and Google stuff on there as well. So very nice update. Love this whole look. And then love the animations. You have categories on here for your app drawer, so it'll separate everything, or you could just do all, and then you could sort everything by name, or you could sort everything by usage by install time on there. You go into your settings, of course, you go into your settings over here for everything, but the animations just look so smooth, as you can see right there. Going into everything, go into your gallery right here, everything pretty much looks the same for your gallery. Go into Facebook, love the animations. Going into stuff and going back home just looks really, really nice. And of course, locking your device has a really nice animation for that when it comes down to locking your device. Another thing I forgot to take a look at is going to be your more category when it comes down to animations and your customizations. You could do your colors. You could adjust everything either to wallpaper colors or featured colors on there. You do fingerprint animation. We do have a new ring animation. You also do have a logo, fits, bubble, stardust, cosmos, ripples. So I think the only one new is going to be that ring. You also do have your edge lighting on here, which you only do get 3 options for that. I kind of wish we had to where it's app specific on there, so that is cool. And then you also do get texture blur, which is a visual blur, apply advanced blurred effects to notifications, animation blur, icons, and wallpaper blur when launching or exiting an app. So a lot of nice options on here with this new Oxygen OS 16 for the OnePlus 13R. Looks absolutely fantastic. I love this update. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, give it a thumbs down and comment if you've gotten this update on your 13R or even OnePlus 12. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Peace.